Hello and welcome everybody. Just give you a little information. This is a new stream I'm gonna start doing. Occasionally we'll have folks join in to rant along with me, but for the most part, this is just a fun little stream that I'm gonna do. This should be pretty short, 30 to 45 minutes. We're gonna talk about weird things. I'm gonna play RimWorld horribly, uh, and we will always, even if I die and my whole colony collapses, I will always play as the Orcs, because Orc are the best. Which brings us up to our topic for pretty much today anyway. Construction 8, that's pretty good. He can't do incapable of intellectual, that's fine, but he can do medical. Oh, you're a good all-arounder. You have literally no bonuses, but nothing bad. So, uh, incapable of artistic and cleaning. I don't really care because you've got good, not good shooting, but fire for shooting, fire for melee, cooking, plants, psychically sensitive, uh, psychic phenomena, xenophobe, bloodlust. They all have xenophobe and bloodlust. All right. I will keep you as well. What are you? You can go away. What did I get? I don't. I want a shooter. Incapable of intellectual. You can go away. I got Yorf back. What's Flash Gruts? Oh, there we go. Flash Gruts seems good. Oh, is he incapable of... Wow, never mind. He is incapable of carrying, cooking, intellectual, plant work, and animals. No. No. I don't think so. That's youth. Wait, that's youth and... Well, that's a much better youth. Well, you're gonna go up here then. I mean, they're orcs. They're not supposed to shoot very well, right? Um, he's got melee. He can do everything but intellectual, and that's fine. He can't do artistic or cleaning. He can't do intellectual. As long as nobody... he can't do caring. One dude who can't do caring. I think that's okay. You got a little give and take with the old orcs. That's alright. Wait, hold on. Let's see what else. Is there anything? What do we got down here? We got... Can't you do intellectual? But you're good with social. Ooh. Wait, hold on. Can't do intellectual. Sucks at both shooting and melee. But he's got all the other stuff. So where is Brewer? Brewer can go down here. And we will take you, good sir. Flash grits. You're the one who can't do anything, right? Yeah, okay. Alright. So, anyway. We're going to talk a little bit about GW today. So, I have played Games Workshop products for a very long time. I started playing Warhammer 40K back when only metal miniatures existed. So I remember when the first plastic miniatures came out. They were terrible. But anyway, we're going to start this. Yeah. So I started off by playing, like most people did, as a kid, Space Marines. I played Dark Angels for 20 years, and I just got bored. There were a lot of times in between. I was in the military for a long period of time. So in that time frame, it just never worked out for me to play. So I say I've played for 20 years. I've collected and done little bits here and there in the hobby. But as far as coming back to playing, I've probably only done it for a total of 8 years, I would say, of the actual play. And, oh, whoops, hold on one second. Let me turn that down. That was loud. volume. We'll turn it down just a bit. All right, hopefully that's better. Um, but so then I started playing orcs, and I've absolutely fallen in love with them. Lore-wise and everything else, orcs are far, far more interesting than many of the other factions, to me personally. Now, don't get me wrong. I read, or I listen to a lot. I don't have actual time or the patience to sit down and read a book. That's just me. I don't do it very well. I'm dyslexic as hell, so uh, I just don't read. But I do listen to audiobooks all the time. And I'm currently going through the Armageddon series and stuff like that, but it's all based in Space Marine lore for the most part. I've gotten through a lot of the Horus Heresy books and things like that, but for the most part, our lovely greenskins here, they just don't get the love that they deserve. And they really, really don't. So, what sucks is that, GW and everybody else, the only thing they seem to focus on lately are more power armor, as people like to put it. That particular quote is from Arch Warhammer, who I'd like to give a special shout out to. He does a similar video set. He probably does it far better than I ever could. But you know, if you can't do something better, do something that is your own. But it's not like I wouldn't say I'm exactly stealing from him, but as far as his kind of idea here, but I am taking a cue from somebody who's been doing this a lot longer than me, and I'd like to give him a special thanks for inspiring me to do a similar fashion in video. Yeah, he does in fact he does in fact put you to sleep. I am aware of that. Special thanks to Becca here. She's gonna hate me for saying that. Here in a minute, she'll get real angry on the chat. She also helped inspire me into this. Nate also was saying that I needed a shorter stream, and that's what I'm shooting for here. Something shorter, something more fun. I appreciate that, though I do believe you're a little biased. So, all right, let's get our actual things going here in the game real quick. We'll set up our little storage area right over here. Will be fine. And let's build a house. I'm actually going to start my house. Actually, I'm just going to steal what's already provided to me. That should do it. And I will deconstruct that thing. Alright. And also, we will deconstruct all of that as well. We're going to leave that table. What kind of table is that? Steel table. I'll keep it. That will be where the food is. Yes. All right. So, like I was saying, I got a little distracted there. For the most part, they don't give the orcs enough. They deserve so much more. They're more complex than people like to give them credit for. Not only that, they're a lot more fun. In general, you talk to a lot of the players, and they're like, yeah, a lot of them will just build like small orc armies, like the hardcore guys, mind you, not the quote unquote wider audience. Oh, I won't forget Ben. Don't worry. And Joe. Joe is another he actually, I got him into Warhammer recently. He wants to play Chaos. Um, and my son, Aiden, he actually wants to, he plays Tyrannid. Now, mind you, watching a 7-year-old try to paint a Tyrannid figure versus anything else is pretty amazing. He's 7 years old, so he doesn't paint them well, but he paints them in his own way, and it's fun. And that's the thing that GW's got to get away from. They got to they're under this mindset that they have to be perfectly painted to play. So we're gonna make simpler models that are easier to paint. Nobody cares. If there's a person who wants to intricately detail the their paints, and give them that model to do so. Because the rest of us, like I do a pretty good job. I'm not great at painting. Uh, I'm okay. I've been doing it for a long time, so I do it fairly well. But all in all, though, like there are people who are far better than me, and I'm just gonna pause that, let them start doing things. But all in all, they don't want to give people the option to paint well. Like, give them that option, because there are people who love the painting. They love the painting more than actually playing the game. And that is perfectly fine, because there are a lot of times I don't want to paint things. And there are people who will go out of their way and allow me to pay them to paint for me. But I appreciate that, but I'm okay at it, and there are people who are better at it than I am. But all in all, they just don't want to. They want you to paint the thing and then play, and then like, oh well, I painted this in 30 minutes, so that means I can buy more, so I can paint more. That's not how that works. Like, it takes me, I mean, it's a never-ending task. I mean, on average, it takes me per model probably, let's say an Orc Boy. An Orc Boy probably takes me, the initial paint will be 15 to 20 minutes, and then to do the gun, because I have a special way of, I make them all rusty, so I take extra time on that. Because orcs don't have fancy, clean-looking weapons. They have rusted, busted weapons. And 2, 3, 4. Where's my fifth one? There he is. Okay. But all in all, and then the gun probably takes me another 15 minutes. So 30 minutes per model. Okay. So to paint an entire like 10 set, including the knob, who takes a little bit longer, not much more. Probably takes me, what is that? That's 6 hours to paint. All right. I don't want to do that all the time. So a lot of times I play with models that are just primed. They're glued together and primed. And that's because if I were to sit down and paint every single model, I would never get to play. And oh my lord, the recent spike in cost is out of this world. I cannot, no, I can no longer afford to buy new models. It's just not going to happen. With the COVID-19 thing and all that, and it's just never going to happen. So, yeah. It is downright infuriating that they went through that trouble. That they went out of their way to do that to all their very loyal fans. And I can't help but feel a little bit jaded towards that. And saying, oh, we are not making enough money, so we've got to increase our prices. Well, you're not making enough money because as an orc player now, they're a weird boy, which is an essential part to playing the game. I can't buy a weird boy. I would love to buy a weird boy. I'd love to take the time and the effort to paint, one of those two models, because that's what I'll do. I will take a lot more time to paint the two individual models, because that's what I need. I need two weird boys. So I will take the time to paint those two very, very well. It'll take me longer, but I'll do it really, really well, because those are centerpieces in my army, whereas the orc boys, they're 1 in 1,000. You know what I mean? Most literally, they're 1 in 1,000 dudes on the field. Uh, but I'll take a lot more time to paint those two, and that brings me a lot of, happiness, things like that. But as far as wanting to paint it, I have to create my own because they don't make the model anymore. They have it on their website, but they haven't actually produced the Weird Boy model since it was metal, and they haven't made it for years and years and years. It's not on Forge World. It's nowhere to be found. So, and then a lot of people like to say, well, orcs have more than, say, Eldar or new Tyrannid stuff or new, many of the other factions. And you're right, because we had Orktober. And I think that only came to be because literally October exists. Otherwise, we wouldn't have gotten that. And what did we get? We got 4 new cars. Well, that's great. And they look awesome, don't get me wrong. But you're going to, like, that one car is, 85 points. And it's going to cost me $78 for the one vehicle. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of them, one of them is a good model. The rest of them have no place in the armies. Like they're just terrible. We haven't had a new meat wagon, so to speak, or truck, like the big one, the fortress, basically the tank in a sense, the big tank. We haven't had a new one of those since 1998. Those are still from the original plastic molds. Back when they used the worst plastic. The plastic has gotten better over the years, but they used to use really terrible plastic. And they unpack. So GW will take the old models, unpackage them, and put them in new boxes. But they're the original models from 1998 that they've never sold. Why have they never sold? Because they're $78 for one tank that is 165 points. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to have one, but I'm not going to spend that kind of money on something that I more than likely, unless I'm playing like a Armageddon style war game, which is 5 to 8,000 points, I'm not going to throw it in there because I'm far more effective with just orc boys and a couple of orc boys, some weird boys, some knobs, and a couple here and there of like the Death Dreads. Those are far more effective than anything else. And then I would have my one Morkanaut or Gorkanaut, depending on if I was going melee versus shooty. Yeah. So all in all, though, it's just not worth it. And it's rather frustrating to me as somebody who really, really loves the game. And as you can see, I'm playing orcs here in front of me. I'm probably gonna go get my butt whooped. Zones, I need 2 growing zones. Let's grow. Ooh. Jeez, there's some good. Nah, stuff's growing down here. We'll put our first one down here. We'll put that down there, and we will plant me rice. It grows quickly. And then on the other side over here, I'm going to do another zone, grow zone. Actually, I'm going to put it right here. This grow zone is for the orchoid fungus. All right. But so the basis of that is that I can't manage to get any of that stuff. Like, it's just not worth it to me. And it's rather frustrating, to tell you the truth. As somebody who loves the game itself, like I used to, for a short period of time, I worked at a hobby shop. You know, I sold Warhammer. Now, I went out of my way to sit down. I brought in, or not brought in, but we pulled out a table. Like I said, I'm pretty good at painting. I'm fairly good at teaching people as well. And so I went out of my way to sit down with people, and I brought in, or we got a bunch of miniatures in, like kind of broken ones and things like that, because we would buy back miniatures people didn't want. So I took a bunch of the broken miniatures and things like that and allowed people to paint and gave them tips and helped them pick colors and showed them different paints. Like Citadel paints are great paints. I've actually always used Citadel paints because I think they're, for painting on plastic, they're actually really, really good. I've never actually used up an entire pot of Citadel paints. And the reason for that is because eventually I will forget and leave the damn thing open and it'll dry out. But you know, but in the things they're doing now is, it's actually really, really frustrating, and it's hard to describe in so many words. Like, you take they took something that meant a lot to me, and you shit on it, and I don't like that. I don't need any more Space Marines. Sorry, I don't. I'm done. Yeah, correct, Beck. Yes, absolutely. Except for their Cremette White. Don't ever buy that paint. It is terrible. I don't know why the thing just turns into this massive clump of separation. It is absolutely terrible. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Oh, it is horrible. Ah, Squiggy! Oh, you don't have a weapon. Go pick that up. I couldn't figure out who didn't have a weapon. But designate a few things here real quick. Assign. Anyway, so I went out of my way to do this, and then I went and so we got a new actual GW store over here in Tennessee, like Knoxville. You know, I mean that's a pretty big deal. GW doesn't put stores in many places anymore. They don't like it. But I went in there and I was disgusted. They had a kid. He's probably barely over 18, tops. And he'd been in my store too. And for some ungodly reason, they had convinced him to sell his 40K army in its entirety, or to get rid of it and say he didn't, you know, no. And they had convinced this kid to spend money on Age of Sigmar. Now, if that's what he wanted, that's fine. Like, if you want to play, if you like the Age of Sigmar world better, great. More power to you. We like what we like. But he had bought a lot of stuff from their store versus our store. I didn't really care. I like the hobby. That's the more important part to me. But it really frustrated me to watch this kid spend all his money on that and then turn around because the store owner of the GW store, or the employee owner and manager, and he's all in one. I mean, they have one person in their store. That's it. They aren't open on Saturday, or they aren't open on Sunday or Monday, which I think is ridiculous. If you're not going to be open, don't be open on like Tuesday or Wednesday. Those are the days you aren't open. You're always open on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Anyway, that's a different thing entirely. But it's just really terrible to do to a kid, to basically convince him to waste all his money and do it again. Like, again, if that was what he wanted to do, that's fine. But that wasn't, because I talked to him later. Sorry. But this is a common practice with them. They'll get somebody into a certain army, and then as they come into the shop to look around for something they had before, they'll show them something really neat and cool, and basically bully a person who probably didn't have a whole lot of, self-confidence to begin with, into buying something that he didn't need to buy in the first place, or that he didn't want to buy. Oh, I don't have any steels. That's steel. Why does it say I don't have steel? Okay. Anyway, but yeah, so where are my animals? Is that rescue? Oh. Okay. But in general, they don't think about the person. So if you take this individual who just spent a fair amount of money to create I think he had about 800 points in Space Marines. He wanted to paint his Space Marines pink. Whatever floats your boat. I'll actually post pictures on D&D 40K, the webpage, of what I converted his pink Space Marine jet into, because nobody else wanted to buy it, so I converted it into a DACA jet, which to me it looks pretty cool. Recreation. What is wrong with you? Apparently no. Oh, very low expectation. Okay. But yeah, so I had a lot of fun converting that, and that's one thing I love about orcs. Why I think they're better than most other factions is I can turn them into anything. There's something I don't know about this. Oh. Allow all. There we go. Get to moving some stuff, guys. Yeah, there we go. We'll set that to hunt. Need that. I also need a butcher table, which I will put on this side. Butcher table. Now we'll create another zone. That's the wrong delete. You can't hit the broadside of a barn. Stockpile zone. Storage. Clear all. Meals. Actually, no. I will select raw food. Corpses. Animal corpses. There we go. Alright, that's what you can put there. Forgot where I was there. But all in told, he's almost done. Actually, the stomp is almost done. He's a hodgepodge of different pieces that I had left over, which is another great thing about orcs. I just basically took a bunch of pieces that didn't fit anywhere else, you know, like old pieces to my bombas and things like that. Orc stormtroopers, yeah, exactly. Is he still shooting at that same? Well, I mean, you got, well, his shooting has gone up by 1 point. I guess we should be happy about that. Good Lord. But no, so to me it was just real shitty what they did to the kid. The company, the people I was working for at the time, they actually, we went out of our way to buy his old stuff from him. Now we would buy stuff, but we gave him a little bit extra, knowing what they had done to help further progress his ability to stay in the hobby. Because especially in my position, I loved hobbies in general. It was just never worth it to me to screw people over like that. To me, it was terrible. Yes, he's special. Um, but all in all, the hobby in general has taken a turn for the worse. I really, really wish there was more we could do beyond just being the loudest, squeakiest wheel. Where's my power? And eventually, I think they'll fall back in track, but as it is now, they just don't really have anything. Like, they're really screwing the pooch on this one. I need to do some mining. And I mean, I hope they make it through all the recession and stuff. I bear them no true ill will, but they really need to step it up because they're not fulfilling their end of the bargain that we have all, you know, kind of expected of them. I would really like to see them turn it around significantly. Ooh, there was a good spot over there too, but it's okay. We'll stay right here for now. It's yes, because they don't worship the great acorn. You're absolutely right. But we also can't expect them to listen to us unless we give them a reason to. See if we can get some other people out there to hunt. He's gone insane. He has wounded I think the animal has been wounded and then recovered. This one's asleep. Anyway, well, that's about it for that particular rant today. For the most part, though, some other things that will be going on for us is these streams here. As you can see, we'll be doing these, or I will be. Nate may want to do his own, so you may see him pop up here. If you guys have any particular subjects you want me to talk about, I'll do a little research. I'll let you know what I think. Leave a comment below. I'd be more than happy to do that. It's always good to learn new things and, knowing what, in general, like doing what GW doesn't and learn what people, actually think about, like what's important to them. I have a lot of mountain. That is very important to me. So I will go out of my way and I'll strive to make that a thing that I can do. Yes, we will have Divinity tonight. We'll probably start that stream at 9 o'clock. We haven't done Divinity in a few days. We're still getting Rebecca spun up on the Borderlands. Once she's all ready to go, you'll see another stream of that. But other than that, you'll see this progress in different points. I'm not gonna make you sit here and go through all the boring stuff of them just basically sleeping. Did it die? Yes. Please haul that as soon as you can. Hey, there we go. The orc way. Lots of bullets. Quickly. Okay. We'll try to stay away from that second one there. But all in all, you guys make this channel work, so I want to hear what you guys have to think, or what you guys have to say, what you guys think about it. RimWorld's pretty popular, I know that. It's also pretty easy for me to kind of I don't know why you chose to try to run away from that. Do this. Do it forever. But all in all, absolutely, I will do my best in all regards. I can't say for certain that I'll get everything I want to get done, but I'm going to try my best. But other than that, what is that? That's about 40 minutes. I think we'll actually end it there today. my future plans for the colony anyways. I'll set this up out here pretty significantly. Get the moss growing. I'm going to start burrowing into this massive mountainside over here, just to more or less create myself a nice big barracks, so to speak. I'll either do it there, or I'll do it down here where it actually, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, reaches the edge of the map. So I'll actually probably move my whole colony. This will probably be my front entrance here. And actually what I might do is, yeah, that's not a bad idea. I'll probably actually just grab this whole area over here and get this area, and then I'll have partially inlaid in the mountain, because this actually gives me really good, that's a good choke point, and that's a good choke point, so that'll actually work out really well. Yeah, that's probably actually what I will do in this particular scenario. All right, guys. Well, ooh, piggies. Wild boar. Is that a male? Male. Is there a female? Female. Female. All right, tame that one. And tame that one. We're going to get ourselves some Piggly Wigglies. We're going to try and, I'll try and create a pig pen. See how that works out. Again, new to this game. If you have any tips for me, let me know. I don't know how good I am at this game, but it's a lot of fun. Main reason why I picked this game is I looked at all the mods for some of